Okay, we are back live here at Williams County in Montpelier,
Marshall lining up
heading
down the
into race
backside on the
5.
way.
It's a
First
field
to
of
the
5
center, Hot
three-year-old
Chocolate.
filly trotters going
Game
for a
on, girl.
purse of
Chip it in.
$4,968. It is the second division.
On the outside. There at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
First division went to Feisty Pistol in 201 and 2. So Game On Girls, the 2 horse is sitting second in the OFRC standings, and the 3 Chip It In is sitting fourth in those standings.
Here they come. Here up and trotting the first horse away is Chip It In. Up on the outside second is Cinderella. At the rail third is Hot Chocolate. Moving up fourth, that is Air Jordan now. And the last horse after going off stride is Game On Girls. As they make the turn now to head down to the backside of the race over that quarter-mile mark, B.J. Roberts has Chip It In on top by 3 lengths. Trotting second is Hot Chocolate, driven by Scott Mason. Third is Cinderella, driven by Chuck Taylor. Fourth is Air Jordan now, driven by Hank Levan. And the last horse, Game On Girls, driven by Pierce Henry. Going past that quarter-mile mark, that's still Chip It In by 2 lengths over Hot Chocolate. First quarter trotted in 32 and 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That is still Chip It In by 2 lengths. Hot Chocolate trots in there second. Third is Cinderella. Fourth is Air Jordan now, and closing in fifth now is Game On Girls. No change in the race down to the half. That's B.J. Roberts and Chip It In bringing the horses down to the half. A length and a half back second is Hot Chocolate. And their third is Cinderella. Fourth is Air Jordan now, and Game On Girls trails. First half trotted in 104 and 4/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Chip It In. The closest horse second is Hot Chocolate. Cinderella trots in their third. Fourth is Air Jordan now, and the last horse, Game On Girls. The pace picks up a wee bit now as they go to the 3/4 mile mark. That's Chip It In now by 3 lengths over Hot Chocolate, with Cinderella still third, and Air Jordan now moving up on the outside fourth. 3 quarters in 136 and 2/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. Now Chip It In opens up about 5 lengths on Hot Chocolate. Third along the rail, Cinderella with Air Jordan now on the outside fourth. As they race for home, it's Chip It In and Hot Chocolate. Chip It In and Hot Chocolate. It's going to be Chip It In. And here the outcome. Hot Chocolate up for second. Looked like Air Jordan now got up for third. A mile in 2:04 and 3/5.
So the 5th race, 2nd division of the 3-year-old filly trotters, goes to the 3 Chip It In, driven by B.J. Roberts, trained by Chris Beaver. And it looked like they crossed 3-1-5.
If we get out your tickets, we're going to have another drawing here.
With those 2 horses in there, finished sitting second and fourth in the Ohio Fair Championship. They were both vying for points.
Actually, so that first division was our 2nd race this afternoon. Again, went to Feisty Pistol and 201 and 2. Same duo, trained. So Chris Beaver and B.J. Roberts took both divisions of the 3-year-old filly trot. Chip It In raced pretty lightly as a 2-year-old in 2020, had 7 starts, 1 win, 1 second. So 2-year-old made over 27,000, took a mark at Northfield and won 58 and 2. This year definitely stepped up to the plate. That is 3 in a row for Chip It
Here are the
In.
official placings for race 5 from the top. Number 1, Hot Chocolate was second. Number 2, Game On Girls was fifth. Number 3, Chip It In was the winner. Number 4, Cinder Addy was fourth. And number 5, Air Jordanelle was third. Time of the first quarter was 32 3/5. The half was in 104 4/5. The 3 quarters in 136 2/5. With a mile in 204 3/5. The top it should read 251 4 3 on the bottom. The mile in 204 3/5.
But like I was saying, that is 3 in a row for Chip It In. Has now 22 lifetime starts, or goodness, excuse me, 22 starts just this season. 11 of those wins with 1 second and 3 thirds. Has made close to 60,000 this year alone, with a mark in 151 or 155 and 1 at Sayota. Actually, won a BSS on August 25th in Northfield.
That was BSS. The 5th legs will all be held at Delaware. So results on the point standings are up on the OHHA website, so that's ohha.com. You can go there and see how those horses are doing in the standings. And then all 8 divisions will have the 5th leg at Delaware. So that's going to be a lot of exciting races at Delaware with that BSS, as well as Ohio Fair Racing Conference will have all 8 divisions there at Delaware.
I'm not sure, as a standpoint of an employee, if I like having all the 5th legs together or if it was nice to have them separated. Because, you know, of course we're getting it all done at once, but it's a lot of preparation. Of preparation. And guessing how many trophies we have to get ready.
Right. Well, and now we thought we had a day tomorrow, but now they're talking about that we might need to go to Worcester tomorrow.
But both of us?
Well, the whole setup here.
Yeah, so yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, we'll keep you informed on that as to what we were going to do about Worcester.
Worcester's on the other side of the state, right?
Yeah.
Still north, just on the opposite. Got
it?
it?
The opposite side.
Got it.
It's but too bad that they get rained out, but also good that they have a chance to race them tomorrow and let all the horsemen race for that money. You hate not to race for the money and points, especially this late in the season.
Worcester is home talent. Is that home talent stakes?
I think so.
That actually, I have not been to any home talent this year. You know, with my family, I am very familiar with the OCRA and parts of the OFRC, but I've never been to a home talent. You know, or Southern before this, but I have broadcast from a handful of Southern Valley Circuit.
Yeah, they will at Worcester. They will start with races. Do races 5 through 13, and we'll start at noon. So we're moving right along here at Montpelier.
Yeah, we are.
We are getting the horses out quickly. 6th race coming up, the 3-0 Philly Pace. We just have one horse this year that has been to the winner's circle in 2021, and that is the 3-horse Love Is Hill. Has 3 wins, one at Wasion in 58-3, at Hicksville in 2 minutes and 3/5, and a start at Hawthorne Park in Chicago, won in 1:55.2 over there. Fever's Last Cruise has 15 starts and no wins, but last year this filly had 13 starts and 7 wins and a mark of 1:56, so she was quite a 2-year-old. Hasn't come back quite to that form as a 3-year-old, but
If
she
you'll get
was
out your
working on it.
tickets, we'll have another drawing here. Get out your tickets.
Okay, they are doing some drawings here, so even though they're not having pari-mutuel wagering here at Montpelier, it seems like they're doing a lot of things to keep the fans engaged. They're doing some kind of a drawing, and then they're also, of course, doing the pick a winner, which is always a lot of fun. And they had some really nice prizes, embroidered, look like little bags, maybe like little lunch bags or something, and then shirts. So always nice when a horseman's organization gets together and does that kind of stuff, because it really enhances the experience for the fans.
Here is our post parade for the 6th.
Our start printing post word for race 6. This is the first division of the 3-year-old filly pace. Going for a purse of $4,968 and a fly sheet courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 1 is Oh, the Places You'll Go. Owned by Ryan Ryder of Lennon, Michigan. Trained by Barb Renner, the driver Tim Johnson. Number 2 is Fever's Last Cruise. Owned by D&K Stables LLC of Hicksville. Trained by Bill Webb, the driver Don Harmon. Number 3 is Love Is Hill. Owned by DNR Racing Stable of Benton, Kentucky. Trained and driven by Derek Flowers. And number 4 is Reese. Owned by the Ocean Mist Farm of Monroe, Indiana. Trained and driven by Pierce Henry.
I really like these ones that come by really slow.
I was going to say, that was a pretty decent post parade.
Yeah, the ones that were slow I can keep right in camera, but boy, they go by so fast when they're right in front of you. A couple horses warming up.
I like the pink gear. There was a horse, I'm trying to remember who it was, in an earlier race that was all decked out in pink. Who was that?
I know that the all the colored has really become popular. Personally, I just like a horse all in black equipment, nothing else. I just think that you're looking at the equipment a little bit more than you're looking at the gait of the horse and everything, but that's just a personal opinion. I know it's easier to find your horse, especially on the screen like we're doing. If you got a bright pink thing on or a bright yellow or something, it's easier to pick out in the crowd.
I say we always had black everything.
Yeah.
We never had anything flashy. Even if we, through the years, we had a couple owners that really wanted to put, this certain color on there. Even halters, my dad would absolutely not, if it wasn't black and just plain, it wasn't in the barn. And even, when I was heavy in my rodeo circuit and doing all that, I think the flashiest I ever got, and I was running at Quarter Horse Congress, so I don't know if anybody is familiar with that, but it is the largest single breed show. It's a pretty renowned event for quarter horse people. I was running barrels there, and I had blue Wranglers, bright teal Wranglers, and I had a black shirt that had the same color stitching, and that was about as exciting as I got. And I think I was maybe 15 or 16 at the time.
The first horse that had the rail will be Oh, the Places You'll Go. Then comes Fever's Last Cruise, Love Is Hill, with Reese on the outside. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
Now, the single-colored saddle pads in each race, is that unique to only the OFRC?
No, some other fairs do that too.
Okay. Here is a 3-year-old filly pace, first division, field of 4.
And they come. The year up and pacing the first horse away in the middle of the track is Love Is Hill. Dropping in their second is Fever's Last Cruise. Up on the outside third is Reese. And the last horse is Oh, the Places You'll Go. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that quarter-mile mark, Derek Flowers has Love Is Hill on top by a length and a half. Pacing second is Fever's Last Cruise, driven by Don Harmon. Third is Reese, driven by Pierce Henry. And the last horse is Oh, the Places You'll Go, driven by Tim Johnson. Going to that quarter-mile mark. That's still Love Is Hill by a length and a half over Fever's Last Cruise with Reese right there third. First quarter paced in 31 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That's Love Is Hill by a length and a half. Still racing second is Fever's Last Cruise. Reese is in there third. A little farther back fourth is Oh, the Places You'll Go. As they race down toward the half-mile mark, that's Derek Flowers and Love Is Hill bringing the horses down to the half. 2 inch back second now is Fever's Last Cruise with Reese right there third and Oh, the Places You'll Go trailing. First half paced in 101 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over the 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Love Is Hill. The closest horse second is Fever's Last Cruise. Right there third is Reese and trailing is Oh, the Places You'll Go. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. Love Is Hill still by a length and a half. Fever's Last Cruise closing in there. Reese also closing in third. Past the 3/4 mile mark. Love Is Hill now by 2 lengths over Fever's Last Cruise with Reese right there third. 3/4 in 131 2/5. As I race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Love Is Hill opening up on Fever's Last Cruise to about 3 lengths now. Still racing third is Reese. As they race toward home, that's Love Is Hill and Fever's Last Cruise. Love Is Hill and Fever's Last Cruise. It's going to be Love Is Hill. And here they all come. Fever's Last Cruise up for second, Reese for third. A mile and 1:59 2/5.
1:59 2 for the 3-year-old filly pace. Let me take a look. The current record for the 3-year-old filly pace is actually the all-age record as well. Is CC Spice, set in 2003. In 1:57 driven by Ryan Stahl, trained by Rob Harmon. And actually, after we hit the winner's circle, I can tell you a little bit about CC Spice. First division, 3-year-old filly pacers going for a purse of $4,968 goes to the 3. Love Is Hill, trained and driven by Derek Flowers. Now has 5 lifetime wins. 4 of those this season alone.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where the winners go. Coming in from Benton, Kentucky, comes number 3, Love Is Hill. All by DNR Racing Stable, trained in every victory by Derek Flowers. Now the blanket fly sheet for this race, courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association.
Okay.
Let's really hear it here for Love is Hill and All Concerned. And the official placings for race 6 to the top. Number 1, Oh, the Places You Go was 4th. Number 2, Fever's Last Cruise was 2nd. Number 3, Love is Hill was the winner. And number 4, Reese was 3rd. Time of the first quarter was 31 seconds. Half was in 101 and 2 fifths. The 3 quarters in 131 and 2 fifths. With a mile in 159 and 2 fifths. From the top it should read 4, 2, 1. 3 on the bottom, a mile in 159 and 2 fifths. If you'll get out your tickets, here we'll have another drawing. Get out your tickets. We'll have one more drawing round. The next winning number is
Love is Hill. 3-year-old filly has around 14,000 now. Well, just this year. So approaching that 20,000 in lifetime earnings, was purchased out of the Blooded Horse sale for $3,500. Not a bad turnover, of course. I did, so we talked about, so that mile, so far, that first division of the 3-year-old filly Pacers is the fastest we've seen today in 1:59 and 2, but of course the all-age track record was set by a 3-year-old filly Pacer in 1:57 and 1. That was set in 2003 by CC Spice. So I'll read my little piece. Now I did already start this, but I believe we went off here, so I don't think anybody got to hear it. But CC Spice. So September 10th, 2003, CC Spice won the 3-year-old filly Pace in 1:57 and 1 with Ryan Stahl driving. That mile broke the overall pacing track record and even still stands today. About 2 months later, CC Spice owner Chuck Campbell of Blissfield, Michigan, supplemented her to the Breeders' Crown, where she was 4th in her $25,000 elimination in 1:55 and 1, John Campbell driving. She also finished 4 7 days later in the $670,000 final with Campbell still driving. Rob Harmon was her trainer. I couldn't imagine supplementing in and walking away with a pretty decent paycheck. You know, didn't win, but that is not always what matters. Pretty neat little story. And I'm assuming, Rob Harmon did train CC Spice, and we are seeing we had a win in the first division of the ladies driving series, went to Krista Harmon, and let me see. We have another Harmon here, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're all related. Who?
We have a Don Harmon that
Don.
drives.
There we go. Don. I was trying to find his first name. Who was just second in that last race. Getting close to halfway through our card. Heading into race 7 of 16 this afternoon. I have to say, it's really turned out to be a great day here. Really turned out, if you were tuning in when we first went live, it is overcast. The clouds were not concerning, but they're actually even better now. We have a pretty large grandstand here at Montpelier, and a decent little crowd. Again, no wagering, so it's always nice to see a crowd of this side come out, and they're just here to enjoy it.
It is one of those steep grandstands.
Yes.
It's funny how they're all so different, but it seems like the steep ones are larger. I suppose they can get more seats in a smaller space. But we have somebody that asked if upper races will be on this evening, post at 5 o'clock, and yes, they will be. So you can watch them on Facebook or OHHA Facebook page. Or Harness Racing Ohio. Go there and you will be able to see those races from Upper Sandusky this evening. That's all the chat I see. It doesn't look like we had very many chatters today.
Well, I say YouTube's always a little odd for us. We don't see near as many comments. Sometimes if you scroll back, though, they will pop up.
I think Facebook is definitely our most favorite
It just tends to be easier.
Yeah.
Tends to be easier, and then we do have a lot of traction there, and so I understand why. But there were a couple things I want to say. So one, I believe in the 7th race we just picked up a driver change with the 2 brush back. Artist is now going to be Chuck Taylor, but of course we haven't post-rated yet, so we will update you as soon as we get that. But we were talking about steep grandstands, and it struck my memory. So a few days ago, I was writing the history, which unfortunately we're not able to see any of our sponsor commercials or, the history and things of that nature that we usually run in our programs today. But, so, when I was writing, I was doing all my research, and the first year that the fair was held, they didn't have a grandstand, right? They did have a racetrack, and actually, this is the second year. It was the second year. So, but still, regardless, doesn't matter when. It was very early on. They had not yet built their grandstand, but they had to hire guards. There were so many people.
Oh.
They had to try to keep everything under wraps. They hired guards, and they actually put the judges, there were so many people they couldn't see around, so they put the judges in a tree house.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It's all these histories have been so interesting, going back so many years. It's just amazing that harness racing has still kept going. Still puts people in the stands.
Here comes our post parade for the 7th, the first division of the 2-year-old colt trot.
This is the first division of the 2-year-old colt trot. Going for a purse of $5,458 and a fly sheet courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 1 is McPherson, owned by Sean McGee of Swanton, trained by Ty Bates, the driver Pierce Henry. Number 2 is Brushback Artist, owned by Greg Gardner of Sheridan, Michigan, trained by Paul Core Jr., the driver Chuck Taylor. Number 3 is Uncle A, owned by Bill Webb of Defiance, the Diamond DP Standardbreds of Kendallville, Indiana, trained by Bill Webb, the driver Don Harmon. Number 4 is Super Spirit, owned and trained by Ann Russell of Britain, Michigan, the driver Bob Rowland. Number 5 is Don't Do It, owned by Ted Boschman of South Lyon, Michigan, trained by Ken Hess, the driver Skip DeMond. Number 6 is Perry Del Valle, owned by Levan Stables of Woodstock, Ohio, Darmafell Racing Enterprises of Sylvania, Ohio, Adam Hempelfinger of Ashland, Ohio, and Max Perry of Cable, Ohio, trained by Hank Levan.
But going kind of back to the county history, some of them are super interesting and super cool because the counties were able to keep records. That has been the biggest feat, especially going back, into the 1800s, into the early 1900s. They can kind of be few and far in between, but one of my favorite stories, I want to say, was Allen County. I might be wrong, but one of my most favorite that I've come across was a racehorse that set a bunch of track records. I think it was Allen County. Originally was never supposed to hit the track. He was first purchased by a horse trader during, the Civil War era, and he was purchased just to sell to the U.S. government, to go to war. The U.S. government said, absolutely no way, this horse is not fit enough to go to war, he's straggly, never going to work. And so they just put him on the track and ended up winning a ton of money on the track. That was one of my favorites I've come across. I did learn Montpelier Greyhound was here during his time and set the track record. Actually, I think it was a world record on a half mile at the time. Don't ask me what year that was because I do not remember. Looks like we are still sticking to the 1 score and heading to the gate for our 7th race. Field of 6, and we score 6 wide here in Williams County, so we will have no trailers. The 4, Super Spirit, is setting 6th in the OFRC standings.
OFC. Ohio Fair Championship, sorry.
Oh, duh. Sorry. Too many, everything runs together a little bit.
The first horse in the rail will be McPherson. Out comes Breachback Artist, Uncle Abe, Super Spirit, Don't Do It, with Perry Del Val on the outside. They're at the post. Starting the 8 is rolling now.
For Super Spirit, this will be the 13th lifetime start. It's 2-year-old. Has 5 wins, 3 seconds, 2 thirds, with $21,000 in earnings. Perry Del L, this will be his 18th start as a 2-year-old with 1 win, 5 seconds. So everybody has wins in here except the 1 McPherson and the 3 Uncle Abe.
The year off and trotting the first horse away on the outside is Super Spirit. At the rail second is McPherson. Moving up third between horses is Breachback Artist. At the rail fourth, that is Uncle Abe. Up on the outside fifth is Don't Do It. And the last horse is Perry Del Val. As they make the turn to head down the backside, the race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Bob Rowland has Super Spirit on top by about 4 lengths. Trotting second is McPherson, driven by Pierce Henry. Third is Breachback Artist, driven by Chuck Taylor. Fourth is Perry Del Val, driven by Hank Levan. Fifth is Don't Do It, driven by Skip DeMall. And the last horse is Uncle Abe, driven by Don Herman. First quarter trotted in 31 and 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, that's still Super Spirit by 2.5 lengths. McPherson continues to trot in there second. Third is Breachback Artist. Fourth is Perry Del Val. Fifth is Don't Do It. And the last horse is Uncle Abe. No change coming down to the half. That's Bob Rowland and Super Spirit bringing the horses down to the half. 3 lengths back second is McPherson. Racing in there third is Breachback Artist. Moving up fourth on the outside now comes Don't Do It. And right there fifth is Perry Del Val. First half trotted in 104 and 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over the 3/4 mile mark. On the catch is Super Spirit. The closest horse second is McPherson. Moving along the rail third now is Perry Del Val. Fourth on the outside is Don't Do It. Fifth is Breachback Artist. And the last horse heading down the backside is Uncle Abe. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. That's still Super Spirit with lead. Closing in second along the rail, McPherson. On the outside third now is Don't Do It. 3 quarters trotted in 136 and 2/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt, those front 4 pretty well bunched. That's Super Spirit with the lead. McPherson second. Third on the outside is Don't Do It. And 3 wide now comes Perry Del Val. As they race toward home, that's Super Spirit and Perry Del Val closing fast on the outside. Super Spirit and Perry Del Val goes between horses and McPherson. It's going to be tight at the wire here. Tight at the wire between Super Spirit and McPherson. Up for third was Perry Del Val. Photo for a win there between Super Spirit and McPherson.
Wait for that final mile.
A mile in 2:08.
2:08.
I think I totally lost them going to the 3/4 pole. I couldn't see where they were, so I apologize for that.
Do you still have a glare on your monitor?
It's terrible. It's very, very hard to see, and I apologize. I'm trying to learn how to zoom out now when we get closer down the stretch and then zoom back in, and I think in between zooming I lost them.
I want to say, if you were just joining us, of course you have myself, Ashley Daly, as well as Susan Schroeder, and we are a little bit on a learning curve.
We are totally out of our element.
Yes, we are very out of our element this afternoon. We are shooting, we're broadcasting, we set everything up. Thankfully, we are live, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
The fact that we're putting... Susan, are you blonde? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say putting two blondes.
Yeah.
2 blondes in charge. I can say that because, again, I am blonde, but it's been a feat. We had to FaceTime Frank to make sure everything was in working order.
Yep.
Do you think you know who won that race?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
I couldn't tell. I almost want to say the one McPherson did end up coming up, but do not hold me to that. Absolutely do not hold me to that. Regardless, it was a very interesting finish, especially, as McPherson did make that final move. Has no wins, has no seconds, only third the last start, so 1/3 so far on his card, and that was his very last start out. So maybe that
And now moving down the track
Yep,
into
I
the
see him
winner's
coming.
circle, where the winners go. Coming in from Swanton, Ohio, comes number 1, McPherson, owned by Sean McGee, trained by Ty Bates, and driven to victory this afternoon by Pierce Henry. Now, I told Sean McGee at the fair at Wasion last week that this horse's Coggins test was going to run out before Montpelier. He kind of debated whether he wanted to even race him here. I thought maybe just quit with him, but then he did get the Coggins test drawn, and I think he's pretty happy again. So McPherson winds up in the winner's circle. Here are the official placings for race 7 from the top. Number 1, McPherson was the winner. Number 2, Braceback Artist was 5th. Number 3, Uncle Abe was 6th. Number 4, Super Spirit was 2nd. Number 5, Don't Do It was 4th. And number 6, Perry Del Val was 3rd. Time of the first quarter was 31 3/5. The half was in 104 2/5. The 3 quarters in 136 2/5. With a mile in 208. From the top it should read 156 243. A mile in 208. If you get out your tickets, we're going to have another drawing.
So first lifetime win for McPherson. Definitely seems to be coming into himself towards this later part of our fair season, which is always exciting.
Nice when they end on a good note, if they
Yeah.
are going to. It's like Bill mentioned that they were thinking of quitting with McPherson and turning him out for the rest of the year, bringing him back as a 3-year-old. And it's always, but now he got this win under his belt, so we'll see if they do quit with him.
I'm gonna say, I did mention he was 3rd. His last start out before that, it was 8th, 5th, 4th, 4th, 5th. So it's exciting to see him really coming into himself. And it is pretty common though, to turn these 2-year-olds out, just let them grow up, even before our season starts. They might not even hit the track. Like I know, in my family's barn, we had quite a few actually that need some time to grow up.
Mm-hmm. Just like your kids aren't always ready to go to kindergarten. Just because they are that age, they might not be ready. So it's...
Is your grandson, is Wesley in kindergarten this year?
He's in kindergarten, yeah.
How did he take it?
He absolutely loves it.
Oh,
He
good.
thinks that it's just great. He gets to ride the bus. That was that was really cool. So yeah, he likes it very much. Has a very nice teacher. So it is fun to watch. Just like it's fun to watch these 2-year-olds and grow and learn. It's really fun watching grandchildren do that. I'm going to pan over here to the last turn because there's a interesting, it's really pretty over here. It's got the trees, and I'm not quite sure what that building is. I saw a car before drive right into it, so I'm not quite sure what that is.
I know, because part of me almost wants to say, you guys can't see it on the screen. Well, you kind of can pick it up. There's lots of lights in the inside, it's like like Christmas lights, and it seems like it's done very nicely. And there goes a car into it right now.
Bridge?
I want to say, is it a covered bridge?
Oh, covered bridge.
Right in the middle of the fairgrounds.
That's cool. So that Rod Cooper, our resident covered bridge expert, just told us. So yeah, that's a cool looking thing. A lot of these fairgrounds have something interesting and just different. I'm trying to find the flagpole. There it is. Sorry about that.
I don't see them now, but I'm sure you spotted them earlier. I don't think we ever saw them on camera, but we have mounted police here too. Did you see those?
Oh, no, I did
yes.
not.
So they were around this first turn. I haven't seen them lately, but there were two. There was a Palomino and I think a black horse, mounted police. And so when I was in college and I had my equine program, I have kind of told this story on air before, so if you've heard it, I am so sorry, but if you haven't, I got to visit actually Columbus's police school, or stable, and the way that they desensitize those horses, insane. I mean, they light firecrackers underneath of them.
Wow.
And I mean, strobe lights, anything. And most of the time, these horses aren't really used. Oh, actually, you can. You can see him. I don't know if we can pick it up on camera. He's right behind the flagpole. You might be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's right behind the flagpole. The Palomino is. You can kind of see his butt peeking out right there. We do have a couple. Ouch.
Yeah, he's right behind it. I can't quite see him, but
a lot of those, a lot of times, especially in small events like this, they're not necessarily used for actual police force. They're really kind of a, what word am I looking for here?
kind of an ambassador.
Yes. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yesterday they had at Worcester, they had people on horseback that were helping with the parking.
Really?
And that was really good. And I actually did that a long time ago.
Huh.
I had an old standardbred that I rode and did. We were called security, but we didn't have any, powers or anything like that. Except there were times when I wished I could make my horse poop on command because I wanted him to poop on some rude people's cars. But it is nice to have that horse presence because you're up a little higher and you can see.
People see them, yeah. Like you just notice it. So and they can maneuver. Of course, by foot is by foot, but you are down lower. But you maneuver so much better.
Yeah. And
quicker, and that's why when I went to the Columbus Police Station stables, they say when they have their pride event and things like that, like large gatherings, they always bring their horses because they move so much faster and so much tighter in alleys and things like that for crowd control, and they really only use draft mixes, so the bigger, thicker horses. Yeah. I can't say I was ever security. I did post parade. I was never an outrider, of course. There is a difference between somebody who leads the horses for post parade and versus outriding. I have post paraded horses a handful of times at Urbana, but was never security.
Yeah.
My horse did not go on command.
Well, unfortunately, mine didn't either. and like I said, it was an old racehorse that I used, and he was so good, and we had a route that we had to take. The only thing he didn't like were the goats.
Really?
When we got by the goat barn, he was always a little bit hesitant about that, but it was a fun experience, except that we were 12-hour shifts.
What?
Yeah, and I'm telling you, by the time I got off every night, we had a 7-day fair, so by the time I got off every night, I could just get off, drive home, go to bed.
Yeah,
That's all
really.
you could do.
Wow, that's pretty intense.
Yeah. But again, what a wonderful thing that a standardbred could do, And the funny thing was that he raced on that track so many times. He raced at that. It was kind of my home county fair.
Did he ever get hot? Get onto the track?
Nope. Just by the doggone goats.
Just by the goats. So the horse that I would post parade with is my old barrow horse, and he was cow bred. Hated cows.
Oh.
Hated cows. So I get it. So you were 12 hours in a saddle.
Yeah.
So you had to be hurting after that.
Yep.
When I was wrangling and doing ranch work out west, I spent anywhere from 10 to 14 hours. And when I hit close to that 14 hours, it didn't matter if I did it every single day. It didn't matter. I was hurting.
Yeah. Yep. That was a rough week. I did not ask to do it the next year.
Did you ask to do it the first year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, please, let me do that.
Yeah. Yep. Can you, is our speaker announcer on?
Stormin Norman out of Dawn's a Breaking by Mutineer. All by Eugene Schraub of Portland, Michigan. Trained by Marvin Kraft. Driven this afternoon by Don Harmon. Lifetime earnings over $141,000. A lifetime mark 156 and 4/5. Number 2 is Team Al. She's a bay mare, 4 years old by Team 6. Ariana Hall by Angus Hall. Alma Levan Stables Incorporated of Woodstock, Ohio, and Rosemary Levan of Lewistown, Ohio. Trained by Hank Levan. Lifetime earnings over $85,000. A lifetime mark 157. Number 3 is Swan Leader. He's a brown gelding, 9 years old by Swan for All, Lasting Beauty by Yankee Glide. All by Chuck Taylor of Albion, Michigan, Vivian Board of Coldwater, Michigan. Trained by Chuck Taylor. Lifetime earnings over $361,000. A lifetime mark 154. Number 4 is Working It on Broadway. He's a brown gelding, 5 years old by Broadway Hall, and a working girl by Ken Workington. All by James Fleming of Bayfield, Ontario. Trained by Jason Brewer. Lifetime earnings over $238,000. A lifetime mark 153 and 4/5. Yeah, number 5 is Silver Star Tyson. He's a bay gelding, 6 years old by Swan for All, and a tough broad by Pegasus Spur. Owned and trained by Courtney Macon of Columbus Grove, Ohio. Driven this afternoon by Pierce Henry. Lifetime earnings over $22,000. A lifetime mark 157. Those are your horses for the 2021 Coney Azoff Trot. Might mention that both Stormin' at Dawn and Swan Leader are past winners of this race. Again, this race is called the Coney Azoff Trot because Coney Azoff set a world's record here back in 1943 for aged geldings on a half-mile track. He trotted the first mile in 2:04 and a half, the second mile in 2:03 and 3/4, the third mile in 2:06 for a combined 6:14 and 1/4, a world's record for 3 heats for a trotting gelding on a half-mile track, and that record still stands. He was owned by John Abshire of Goshen, Indiana, and was driven by Walt Dispinette of Muncie, Indiana. Again, that's a world's record held here on the Williams County Fair racing track. Archer lining up down the backside on the way to get the first horse in at the rail will be Stormin' at Dawn. Then comes Team Al, Swan Leader, Working It on Broadway with Silver Star Tyson on the outside. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now. Here they come. Here, up and trotting the first horse away along the rail is Stormin' at Dawn. Up on the outside, second is Swan Leader. In their third is Team Al. Fourth is Working It on Broadway. And the last horse is Silver Star Tyson. As they make the turn now to head down the backside, the racer toward that quarter-mile mark. Don Harmon has Stormin' at Dawn along the rail with the lead. On the outside, second is Swan Leader, driven by Chuck Taylor. At the rail, third is Team Al, driven by Hank Levan. Fourth is Working It on Broadway, driven by Jason Brewer. And the last horse is Silver Star Tyson, driven by Pierce Henry. Going to the quarter-mile mark now, Swan Leader takes over. Coming back second is Stormin' at Dawn. First quarter trotted in 30 and 2/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn, they come down past the stand for the first time. That's Swan Leader by a length and a half over Stormin' at Dawn. Team Al still trots in their third. Fourth is Working It on Broadway, and right there fifth is Silver Star Tyson. Horses are on straight alignment as they race down the horses down to the half. Sitting in the golden chair second, that's Stormin' at Dawn. At the rail third is Team Al. Ranging up on the outside fourth is working it on Broadway. And the last horse is Silver Star Tyson. First half trot on 101 and 3/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. That Swan leader along the rail lead. Pouring on the pressure on the outside second is working it on Broadway. At the rail third is Stormin' at Dawn. Fourth along the rail heading down the backside is Team Al. And the last horse is Silver Star Tyson. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. Now working it on Broadway, takes over. Dropping back second is Swan leader. Stormin' at Dawn right there third. Fourth is Team Al, followed by Silver Star Tyson. 3/4 in 131 and 3/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. Now working it on Broadway, opens up about 3 lengths on Swan leader. Ranging up on the outside third is Team Al. As they race toward home, it's working it on Broadway. Swan leader and Team Al. Working it on Broadway, Swan leader and Team Al. Past the stands, it's gonna be working it on Broadway. And here's the outcome. Swan leader holds on for second with Team Al third.
So the 4, working it on Broadway, takes the Signature Series trot. Waiting for that final time.
A mile in 2 minutes and 3/5, equaling the overall trotting track record here at the Williams County Fair.
That's exciting.
The all-age trot was set in 2004 by Predictable Lady. Driven and trained by Donald Boast Jr.
So did he say that was tied the
Yes.
record?
Yes. So it should be 2 minutes, 3/5.
If you'll get out your tickets, we have another drawing here. Next winning number 3974904. That's 3974904. And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where only the winners go. Coming in from Bayfield, Ontario, comes number 4, working it on Broadway. Owned by James Fleming. Trained to win a victory by Jason Brewer, and working it on Broadway has just equaled the overall trotting track record here at the Williams County Fair. It was set back in 2004 by Predictable Lady in 2 minutes and 3/5. Now the Codier's off-trot blanket will be presented to Jason Brewer and working it on Broadway. Let's have a big hand here for Jason Brewer, Case Bateson, and working it on Broadway.
So I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to look up. Jason is very close to his 4,000th
That's right.
driving win. I want to see exactly. Let me go to USTA really quick.
He was at 39.98 the other day.
Yeah.
There are the official placings for race 8 from the top. Number 1, Stormin' at Dawn was 4th. Number 2, Team Al was 3rd. Number 3, Swan Leader was 2nd. Number 4, Working It on Broadway was the winner. Number 5, Silver Star Tyson was 5th. Time of the first quarter was 30 and 2/5. The half was in 101 and 3/5. The 3/4 in 131 and 3/5. With a mile in 2 minutes and 3/5. On the top it should read 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 on the bottom. A mile in 2 minutes and 3/5.
have not been able to figure out the smoothness of the telescopic and wide angle lens yet. There's a little tiny button that we're using, and it's really hard to do, so I apologize for any herky-jerky motions that we have. That was the Signature Series 4-year-old and up trot. Don't forget that the Signature Series will have its final at Delaware. And that's next week already. So the ladies driving series is next week, as well as the Signature Series.
On Tuesday is the ladies.
I think the pace and the trot and the Signature Series are 2 different days.
Let me open up our Huff's Guide really fast. Signature Series trot final is Monday, September 20th. And the pace final is Thursday. So Jug Day.
Jug Day.
Mm-hmm.
That will be exciting.
I'm still trying to maneuver my way into USTA.
Oh. It's always good to be able to jump onto pathways and find out, get the up to the moment statistics. We also want to thank the USTA for allowing us to post the programs. It is all the USTA's data that is used to compile all the statistics and everything in these programs, all the horses' past performance lines. So we certainly want to thank them for allowing us to post them so that you can see them and follow along with us. Of course, you need to go to harnessracingohio.com and click on the live races, and that'll take you to the page where all these races are being streamed live, and also where the programs are housed. So you can just click on that link and get a PDF of today's races. They usually don't appear until close to post time. That way people that are coming to the track make sure that they buy their programs here, so that to support the local group that is using that for a fundraiser. And I believe here it's probably the Williams County Horsemen that are using that for a fundraiser.
Okay, so Jason Brewer, total lifetime drives make that now 30,075.
Wow.
Lifetime wins 3,999.
So this was 99?
Yes, this was the 99th win, and so I'm not sure if he has anything else in today.
Let's take a look.
That was our 8th race. It just went off.
Nope, that was it.
So
unless he gets a catch drive.
Yeah.
Unless somebody puts him up. So I know that Lisa Schwartz really wants him to win it at an OCRA because she's got a big sign for him.
Yeah.
It always seems when you're kind of waiting for those milestones that they take a while.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I'm going to say I'm trying to remember which fair it was when I was with Frank and Tom Pye recently. That was his 398th.
So get out your tickets. We'll have another drawing here. Next winning number is 397.
Oh, it was Finley.
Oh,
Yes, was his last win. Was Finley.
4910.
well, it certainly is a beautiful day here. I'm not sure if maybe the fair, maybe they just don't do the rides until later on in the afternoon.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too, because I know a lot of the fairs that I've always gone to start around noon with the rides, but I'm thinking I always attended during the summertime. Now kids are in school.
That's true.
And so I wonder if they just do an evening type thing.
Yeah,
Which is, I'm sure the horsemen aren't complaining at all.
right. Makes sense. You forget about that school is in session. And here we'll show you all the rides over here. I did, when we got here, I saw where I'm headed for a late lunch when we're done. The pork producer's tent is right next to us, so they have the pork loin sandwiches. I was kind of, well, that was actually what I stopped looking after I saw that.
You just knew.
Yeah,
You just knew.
I just knew that was where I was going to head.
I haven't explored any yet. I don't know. I don't know what I'm feeling.
Yesterday at Wooster was a tent or a little stand, and it was like all pasta.
Oh, really?
So they had different kinds of pasta, and then you could get just plain marinara sauce, or you could get meat sauce, you could get meatballs, you could get cheese on it. So you kind of built your own pasta bowl, and that was really good. I had that right before we started.
You don't see too many of those at fairs.
No, no, it was quite an interesting little stand. One of the vans here.
That is Louis.
Louis.
Yes.
I always like to mention the Levans. A couple years ago, we had a Harness Horse Youth Foundation camp here in Ohio, where we went to, I think we went to 4 different places, but when we went to Marysville, we took the kids over to the Levan stables, and they were so great with them and just showed them all sorts of things. And they were getting ready to go to a fair, so they went through their whole tack trailer, the front of the trailer where they had all the tack, and told the kids just exactly why they were taking this piece of equipment and that piece of equipment, and it was really really interesting. Well, a nice family.
A whole lot of history.
Yeah.
In the standardbred industry.
Yeah.
And have done very well. All of them have done very well on the fair circuit, especially. I want to say, I'm not sure if Harrison is still watching. One of their they've had a handful of very successful horses. The one most recently that sticks out in my mind, oh goodness, maybe, I think we were just talking about the other day. I want to say Calvin L. He might text me right now and correct me. But it was actually one of Harrison's first horses that he ever owned, and his first sire stake out, he won the first leg, and did really well on that circuit. That was a few years back, but I want to say maybe 2016, 2017. And of course, we see them at quite a few of the fairs. Not only OCRA. OFRC, and I want to say maybe some home talent, but that might not be very correct.
And for those of you who are listening that maybe are not members of OHHA, and when we talk about the house guide and the staking and everything, you can become a member of OHHA, associate member for just $25, and that $25 gets you all the publications. So you can get starting with the stallion directory, the staking guide, and the magazines. We have 4 magazines a year and then 8 newsletters. So
I right before the post, it finally came to me. It wasn't Calvin L. It was Manny Al, who was a really good sire stake horse.
It's the second division of the 3-year-old filly pace, going for a purse of $5,068 and a fly sheet courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. Number 1 is Amy. Jeff Grimes of Erie, Michigan, trained in a Riverdale. Number 3 is Miss Carly Shea of Rod Adams Jr. of Portage, trained by Jamie Lang, driver Rod Adams Jr. Number 4 is Cousin Mark, trained by Joe Stevens of Montrose, Michigan, the driver Jason Merriman. And number 5 is Sister Said, by Henry Trimble of Byron, Mississippi, trained by Derek Clough.
So here we are officially over halfway through our card. Williams County, Montpelier. We're bringing you 16 races today. We are headed into race 9. Five starters in this race. The second division of the 3-year-old filly Pacers. I'm going to take a look back and see what that first division went in. Okay. So the 3-year-old filly Pacer first division was race 6. Went to Love is Hill, Derek Flowers, and won 59 and 2. And this group of fillies here definitely looks like they can hold a flame to that mark. We have the one Amy L with Hank Levan, who I believe is named after the one and only Amy Holler. Has a mark this year as a 3-year-old and won 54 and 2 at Scioto. The 2 horse has a mark in 57 and 3 in Tiffin, actually. So a fair track. The 3 horse mark in 156 and 3 at Scioto.
Also lining up down the back side on the way to the gate. The first horse in at the rail will be Amy L. Then comes Bonita Joe, Miss Carly Shea, Cousin Margie with Sister Said on the outside. There at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
We have Cousin Margie is sitting 24th in the Fair Stakes
24th.
points, and you think, oh, that's way down, but it's amazing. Sometimes they do go down because some of the horses that are above her in points may not be racing anymore.
She has a mark in 54 in Northfield, and round out. Sister Said the 5 has a mark in 55 and 3 at Scioto. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to go faster than that 159.
They're off and pacing the first horse away on the outside. Dropping in third is Amy L. Fourth is Miss Carly Shea. The last horse is Sister Said. As they make the turn now. Margie up top by a length and a half. Pacing in their second is Bonita Joe, driven by Dale Decker. Third is Amy L, driven by Hank Levan. Fourth it is Miss Carly Shea, driven by Rod Adams Jr. And the last horse, Sister Said, driven by Derek Flowers. Going to that quarter-mile mark. That's still Cousin Margie by a length and a half over Bonita Joe with Amy L in their third. First quarter paced in 31 and 2/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time. It is still Cousin Margie with the lead. Bonita Joe is in there second. Closing in a wee bit, third is Amy L. Fourth is Miss Carly Shea. And fifth is Sister Said. No one has made a move as yet as they race down. On the move is Amy L. Coming to the half-mile mark. That's Cousin Margie with the lead. Amy L on the outside second. Bonita Joe along the rail third. Also on the move on the outside fourth is Carly Shea. And right in there fifth, that is... Well, first half paced in 104 as they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4. Amy L goes off stride. That's still Cousin Margie with the lead. Bonita Joe in there second. Third and moving up is Miss Carly Shea. Also on the move is Sister Said. And the last horse is Amy L. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. That's Cousin Margie with the lead. Bonita Joe along the rail second. Miss Carly Shea on the outside third. 3/4 in 133 and 2/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That is still Cousin Margie with the lead. Bonita Joe second with Miss Carly Shea in their third. As they race through the lane, that's Cousin Margie, Bonita Joe, and Miss Carly Shea. Cousin Margie and Bonita Joe. It's gonna be Cousin Margie, and here the outcome. Bonita Joe up for second, up for third is Miss Carly Shea.
Was
A
that
mile and 2:02.
So I stand corrected. First division did go faster.
a half and 4, you knew they weren't going to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
breaking any records then.
So even that first opening quarter, actually, they went about the same, but yeah, to that half and 4 was a pretty big break. So we have the 4, Cousin Margie, driven by Jason Merriman for the win in the 9th race. So yeah, like you said, that 4 horse was sitting 24th in the fair final standings, fair championship standings. But that win might have just bumped her up a little bit.
Yep.
Say it's definitely crunch time when it comes to points as we head into Delaware in early October.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, around the winner's coming in from Montrose, Michigan, comes number 4, Cousin Margie, owned and trained by Joe Stevens and driven to victory this afternoon by Jason Merriman. Cousin Margie will be the recipient of a fly sheet courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horsemen's Association. Let's have a big hand here for Joe Stevens, Jason Merriman, and Cousin Margie. Here are the official placings for race 9 from the top. Number 1, ABL was 5th. Number 2, Bonita Joe was 2nd. Number 3, Miss Carly Shea was 3rd. Number 4, Cousin Margie was the winner. Number 5, Sister Said was 4th. Time of the first quarter was 31 2/5. The half was in 104. The 3/4 in 133 2/5. With a mile in 202. From the top it should read 5, 2, 3, 1, 4 at the bottom. The mile in 202. If you get out your tickets, we'll have another drawing.
Must be like raffle tickets with those kind of big numbers.
I think so. You were saying, around at the grandstand, the horsemen's, they're selling, the T-shirts and the sweatshirts and then the bags. And when I was walking in across the track, I'm pretty sure they are doing the raffle as well. So
it's always fun for people that are in the grandstand, and it's a good way to raise money for the Horsemen's Association.
all right, Susan, who do you want to learn about? You want to learn about Quick Song or Ava Way? You pick.
Quick Song.
Quick Song first. All right, so I'm going to we have quite a few horses from this track that have not only made their mark Montpelier, but further out than that as far as, Grand Circuit and world records and things like that. So Quick Song, I'll read this little excerpt here. September 17th, 1959. So we're taking it back a few years. Quick Song won both heats of the two-year-old trot in 2 minutes, 16 seconds, won 5th and 2:19 and 2 with Dave McLean driving on August 31st, 1960. So just under a year later, Quick Song finished 3-1-4-2 in the Hambletonian with Frank Irvine driving. Quick Song's winning heat was in 1:59 and 3, which along with Hoot Frost winning heat, also in the same time, were the fastest of that year's Hambletonian.
So 4 heats the Hambletonian went. And what year was that?
That was 1960.
Wow. I mean, yes, that's 60 years ago, but it's kind of, you ask somebody that's a young trainer or driver now, and they say, oh, yeah, when they went 4 heats, they'd say, what?
Yeah.
2 heats is even.
Is pushing it.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I can't remember what fair I was at, I was broadcasting. I had somebody ask me, actually, it might have been Kelly Bell who had mentioned when her first broadcast when we went up or down to Marietta, she was asking, like, some of these horses come back really fast. Can you race them back to back like that? And I kind of explained at one time, it was the only way to do it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the jug still goes heats, right? It's
I
still
say
going
some,
heats
yeah.
this year.
But even, I think back to the Hamiltonian, they do, is it 2 weeks or just a week?
I think
of
it's just
elimination?
a week
Yeah.
out now, yeah. Or that always was a 2-heat race also. The only other place I know that they still do heat racing, and that is in my home state of Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah?
And some of it is due to the fact that we don't have many horses. So it's a little bit different there. We actually the Wisconsin Harness Horse Association actually contracts with the fairs. We're like an act that comes in. So in order to make sure that we have, 8 races, a lot of times we have to go 2 heats so that we get all those races in. So you put on a good show for the people in the stands because, like I said, we're kind of like a contract act that comes in.
So how long have you been in Ohio?
Just coming up on 6 years.
Has it been, now I would say it's safe to say that you're pretty in your groove as far, but when you first moved here, was it quite different to adjust to how we do things?
Yeah, racing's racing.
Yeah, yeah.
But the amount of racing that's here is just incredible. I mean, I race for a living, race in Chicago most of my life. The fairs in Wisconsin are for fun. But the amount of racing here, I mean, it just doesn't seem, no matter what kind of class of horse you have, there's some place to put it. The strong fair system that is here, and then the Buckeye Stallion Series came, and then, of course, the Sire Stakes. I mean, there's just such a wide variety of places and options to race. So that was what was so different for me, was the opportunities that are here.
Yeah, I'm going to say, in Ohio, the standardbred industry is extremely healthy right now. And I want to say is very much growing. As we're seeing our Ohio bred and racing horses make it to the Grand Circuit and doing well in the Grand Circuit is really exciting. Because I remember, I was very young, but when Ohio hadn't yet brought on the Racinos and everybody was going to Indiana and other places, this was, around 2008, so I was relatively young. I was around 10, and it's crazy to see the amount of growth, and it's been great. It's absolutely been great.
Well, and to be number 1 in the nation in the number of mares bred, the number of foals. I mean, 65 county fairs. There's no place else that even comes
holds
close
a flame to it.
Yeah.
And it's not like we have some of the best studs out there, and it's not like we're just breeding a bunch of mares and they're good quality foals that are hitting the ground every year.
Yeah, the mares that are being brought into this state, you see people going out to Harrisburg and buying just really, really good mares. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, the stallions that are coming in are just amazing.
Down by the seaside?
Yeah.
You can, yeah. There's no way you can have a conversation about that without mentioning him.
That's right. That's right.
And all of his, and his babies that, what was it? I think 11 of the 16 starters in the OSS were his. And of course, Sea Silk, Down by the Seaside was a winner.
Yeah.
I was like, off the top of my head, I can't go through and name them all, but.
Yeah. Well, you've got Super Night, with the Ohio Sire Stakes championship night, and then we'll follow that up, and we're going to have Delaware, where you got the Ohio Breeders' Championships, and we go into Fair Championship night, and we have the Buckeye Stallion Series Championship night. I mean, there's just lots of places for horses to go and make a good amount of money.
And so I'm trying to think back. Somebody might be able to correct me. The Ohio Triple Crown. Do you remember? It's the breeders at Delaware.
Yep.
Oh, it's the OSS final.
And I believe
What's
it's
the
a
other?
state. Is it the state fair?
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's the
That
state
was the one
fair.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember.
I believe that's what it is. So we had 3 of them last year, Triple Crown
Oh, did we?
champions. So
I'll say I have not up on the 2-year-old or 3-year-olds that are in the running for that. If there is anybody, I'm sure there is, but I haven't looked at stats anytime recently. Actually, one of the coolest things at the time I was kind of too young to know how big it was and how cool it was. But there was a night that my dad won 3 Triple Crowns.
oh gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, insane.
Well, we've got 2-year-old colt trotters coming out. 5 in it. Swan Hill of a Time, who has the rail, with Charles Taylor driving, is sitting 3rd in the Ohio Fair Championship points. Number 2 horse is Stone Throwaway and Don Harmon. 3 is Rollersville, Pierce Henry.
We do have a driver change on
Oh,
that one. So the
okay.
3 will be driven by Jason Merriman.
Oh, okay. And the 4, Spirit on a Fast Train, Mike Wolf.
Craig Wolf, make that.
Craig Wolf.
Yes, and that.
Okay.
So there are 2 driver changes in this race.
And then Tom's Ace and Pierce Henry.
There we go.
So Pierce Henry made that choice to drive Tom's Ace.
So the 1, Swan Hill of a Time, 9 lifetime starts, 6 of those wins, 2 seconds, 1 third. Just under 20,000 in lifetime earnings with a mark, made it Wasion in 2:07. So that actually was his last start out. Actually, in a dead heat, if we're looking at the program, with Buckeye Cash. Actually, hold on. Am I reading that right? Is that a dead heat of 3?
Let me look here. Get it a little closer.
The 1. His last start out in Washington.
Dead heat, and they were 3 3/4 lengths in front of the ones that finished 3rd.
Okay, I couldn't tell the way that it's written over the lines with Buckeye Cash, Swan Hill, and I'm assuming Rollersville. I've never seen him because it says equaled. It threw me off. That right there.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what that little mark is either.
Those equals kind of. There's 2 of them, not just 1.
Yeah, that is strange.
But the
Spirit on a Fast Train is just his 2nd lifetime start.
Second division, a 2-year-old colt trot going for a purse of $5,358. And our first division went in 208 to McPherson in race 7. To 09 and 2.
I will have to apologize if you didn't hear that too well. I forgot to push the bill button. So sorry if you couldn't hear the announcer. Hopefully you could hear it somewhat. I did not see who won that.
I was going to say, I was writing that down. I think it was Stone Throw Away, made a big move on that backside, ended up finishing ahead.
Let's see who's coming back.
I want to say that's the 2.
Yeah.
Yep. First lifetime win for Stone Throw Away. And hasn't had, the last couple starts he's had out have not been great. Ended up 6th, and before that, 7th.
Track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Beverly Hills, Florida, comes number 2, Stone Throw Away. Owned by Sterling Buke, trained by Krista Harmon, and coming up this afternoon by Don Harmon. Here are official placings for race 10 from the top. Number time was second. Number 2, Stone. Number 3, Tom's Ace. The first quarter was 33 seconds. The half was in 6 and 2. Quarters in 38 and 3 fifths. And 2 fifths. 2, 1, 4, 5, 3 at the bottom. A mile and 209 and 2 fifths.
So it sounds like our audio is kind of going in and out. For those that couldn't hear, top down for the 10th goes 2, 1, 4, 5, 3. Mile and 209 and 2. That is a 6 lifetime start for the 2 stone throw away. First lifetime win.
If you'll get out your tickets, we're going to have another drawing. Get out your tickets.
Heading into the 11th race here in Williams County, Montpelier. It's been a great day. It's been a nice day. No rain. Of course, unfortunately, Worcester, the second day of racing at Worcester, has been rained out. They made it through 4 races and ended up canceling. So tomorrow at noon, we will have races 5 through 13 in Worcester.
We're going to try and figure out a way to bring them to you. We haven't quite figured that out yet, but we will try as hard as we can. We have Trot and Pace has other commitments, so we'll see if we can figure out how to bring you those races.
And you might be stuck with this duo, so
Yeah.
hopefully you're somewhat enjoying it, just because, again, you know, this is our not our first time broadcasting by any means, but of course we are on a learning curve of running the camera and having everything set up and good to go to live stream.
I can't. We had some judges come down and ask us for a replay, and Ashley and I looked at each other and said, nope, no way, we don't have no idea how to do that. So but Ashley's trying to see it if we can bring it back up on YouTube, and so that they can review things that way. It's always nice when Trot and Pace is here, and when Frank is here, he knows how to do that, where there's a little memory card in the camera, and he gets that out and he can show it to the judges if they want. And Trot and Pace knows how to do that, but unfortunately, I do not. I'm just actually really happy just to be able to turn the camera and try and get the whole races for you. It's been a challenge. But some great racing here at Montpelier today, and the Williams County Horsemen's Association does such a great job. It's a lot of volunteers working at all these fairs, and it's very, very nice when everybody works together and puts on a great program like they are today. We have, I think it's the 11th race coming up. And it's a 2-year-old filly Pace, and this is a field of 8. 7 and 8 start from the second tier. We score 6 across here, and I know there are some driver changes, but I wanted to point out to you that Disney Springs, the rail horse, is sitting 4th in the Ohio Fair Championship points, and Black Tilly is sitting 7th. So those okay, so the 3-horse Cedar Point Beach will be driven by, did you say Jason Merriman? And the 7, Oh My L, will be Louis Levan. So those couple of driver changes in there. We've got every one of these fillies has been to the winner's circle at least once. Disney Spring has, I'm sorry.
There we go.
It's I probably should just leave the buttons on all the time because then I forget to push them back on. But so Disney Springs has 12 starts and 4 wins, 3 seconds, 4 thirds. Has made 18,605 already this year and has a mark of 56-4 at Northfield. Black Tilly coming out of the 2-hole with Don Harmon. As I said, she's sitting 7th in the Ohio Fair Championship points. Has 9 starts, 5 wins, and 3 seconds. Earned 21,000 and has a mark of 2-1-3 from Wasion. And that was her last start that she won. She has won the last 2 in a row. Won at Van Wert in 2-4. And also won back-to-back races at Napoleon and Attica, 2-4-2 and 2-6-2. Cedar Point Beach is driven by Jason Merriman. That's a driver change, and has 12 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds, and 3 thirds. Earnings of 14,672. And Cedar Point Beach, I know, is owned by a fractional ownership group, partially owned by that group. Hard to Handle with Marvin Kraft up will leave from the 4-hole, has 8 starts, 1 win, 1 second, 1 third. Arts Beach and Kim Pluta have the 5-hole, 10 starts, 1 win, 2 seconds, 4 thirds. Draconian Terror with Pierce Henry up, 15 starts, 3 wins, and 3 seconds. Earnings of 13,349. Oh My L and Louis Levan, 14 starts, 1 win, 5 seconds, and a third. And Paradise Rock L with Hank Levan, 14 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds, 3 thirds. This is a good group of fillies.
And they have definitely seen quite a lot of each other, especially, like we said, these last 2 starts. Black Tilly has come out on top of Disney Springs. Is our announcer on?
Henry Trimble, Byron, Mississippi, trained and driven by Derek Flowers. Number 2 is Black Tilly, owned by Krista and Don Harmon, Jackson, Michigan, trained by Krista Harmon, the driver Don Harmon. Number 3 is Cedar Point Beach, owned by Cedar Point Beach Racing of Fremont, Ohio, Suzanne Bates of Gibsonburg, Ohio, trained by Ty Bates, the driver Jason Merriman. Number 4 is Hard to Handle, owned by Eugene Schraubman of Portland, Michigan, trained and driven by Marvin Kraft. The 5 is Arts Beach, owned by Jerry Migel of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver Kim Pluta. Number 6 is Draconian Terror, owned and trained by Jerry Greenville, Ohio, the driver Pierce Henry. Number 7 is Oh My L, owned by Levan Stables Incorporated of Woodstock, Ohio, trained by Hank Levan, the driver Louis Levan. And number 8 is Paradise Rock L, owned by Levan Stables Incorporated of Woodstock, Ohio, Darnafell Racing Enterprises, Sylvania, Ohio, and Max Perry of Cable, Ohio, trained and driven by Hank Levan.
And because there's 8 in it and only 1 division, this race is going for $10,195, which is a really nice purse for these 8 fillies.
It seems, so this is obviously the only division, like you said. Part of me, it seems like they at least like to have 5 in one of the divisions before they split.
Yeah, each track is different and each circuit is a little bit different. Those are usually in the staking guide, and it says exactly how they're going to split. So they must split on 9 here. So if there's 9 to enter, then they'll split into a 5 and a 4. But if there's 8, they'll go with all 8. And I think they can only have 2 trailers also, so it depends how wide the track is and what the Colt Association rules are. It's another interesting thing when you talk about the differences in states, and I don't know too much about a lot of other states, but there are 4 Colt associations here. There used to be more than that, but these 4 Colt associations, they're all just a little bit different in their staking, you know, the money that it costs to stake and their conditions and so forth. But it's, as far as the Ohio Fair Championship, that includes all 4 of the Colt circuits.
You say that there used to be even more
Yeah.
circuits, and I actually didn't know that, but part of my job, I kind of take, you know, old records and try to make sense and just categorize them. And actually, last month I was looking at an article that named some different circuits, and they didn't strike a bell. I thought maybe there were just some name changes, but I didn't realize that there actually were originally more than 4.
Yeah. Even as close as a couple years ago, because, and I'm trying to remember who it was, but they joined with OCRA.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's.
Here we have 2-year-old Philly Pacers, field of 8.
Here they come. The year off and facing the first horse away is Black Tilly. On the outside third is Cedar Point Beach. On the outside fourth is Arts Beach. Moving along at the rail fifth, that is Oh My L. On the outside sixth is Heart to Handle. Moving up seventh, Draconian Terror, and the last horse is Paradise Raquel. As they head down the backside, the race over the quarter-mile mark, Don Harmon is Black Tilly on top by a length and a half. Facing second is Disney Springs, driven by Derek Flowers. Third is Arts Beach, driven by Kim Pluto. Fourth is Cedar Point Beach, driven by Jason Merriman. Fifth is Oh My L, driven by Louis Levan. Moving up on the outside sixth is Heart to Handle, driven by Kraft. At the rail seventh, Paradise Raquel, driven by Hank Levan. And the last horse, Draconian Terror, driven by Pierce Henry. First quarter finished in 31 and 2/5 seconds. As the race around that upper turning on past the stand for the first time. That's Don Harmon and Black Tilly with the lead. Still racing in there. Second is Disney Springs. Arts Beach is third. Up on the outside fourth now is Draconian Terror. At the rail fifth is Cedar Point Beach. Sixth and on the move is Paradise Raquel. Seventh is Oh My L. The last horse. First half paced in 104 and 1/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Black Tilly. The closest horse second is Disney Springs. On the outside third is Draconian Terror. At the rail fourth is Arts Beach. Fifth is Paradise Raquel. Sixth and moving up is Oh My L. Seventh is Cedar Point Beach, and the last horse is Heart to Handle. Going to that 3/4 mile mark, that's Black Tilly by a length and a half over Disney Springs with Arts Beach in their third. 3/4 in 134 and 2/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Black Tilly, Disney Springs, and Arts Beach. Black Tilly and Disney Springs and Arts Beach. As they race around Black Tilly, Disney Springs, here comes Arts Beach on the outside. Past the stands, it's gonna be Black Tilly, and here they all come. Disney Springs up for place. Up in the third place is Arts Beach. A mile going 204 and 2/5.
I think that race went a little bit differently than expected. You know, I had just said that last 2 starts out. Oh, actually, no, that was wrong. Never mind. Black Tilly has overcome Disney Springs 3 times now. So that makes 3 in a row for Black Tilly. 10 lifetime starts, 6 of those wins.
was a pretty tight race,
Yeah,
and they spread out a little bit coming down the stretch, but it was a good race.
definitely a lot more collected than we have been seeing.
I believe I'm following the right horse. In my little screen, it's sometimes hard to see.
Driven by Don Harmon. Let me take a look back and see. He's been
And
to the
now
winner's circle a
going down
handful
the
of
track,
times.
One of the winners go coming in from Jackson, Michigan. Comes number 2, Black Kelly. Up by Krista and Don Harmon. Trained by Krista Harmon. And coming up this afternoon by Don Harmon. Now you notice the dam of this horse is Daisy Dukes. And I believe Black Tilly got her name. I think Black Tilly was an automobile in the Dukes of Hazzard. Now the blanket here, the Big D's blanket, will go to Black Tilly. That's what we heard here for the Harmons and Black Tilly and the Big D's, the donors of the blanket.
And so that makes back-to-back trips for Dawn in the winner's circle. Actually, I mean the whole duo. So trained by Krista Harmon, driven by Don Harmon, back-to-back appearances. And so Black Tilly, like I said, trained by Krista Harmon. And not only that, is owned and bred by Dawn and Krista.
Here, the official place. Number 2, Black Tilly was the winner. Number 3, Cedar Point Beach was 8th. Number 4, Heart to Handle was 7th. Number 5, Arts Beach was 3rd. Number 6, Draconian Tear was 6th. Number 7, Oh My L was 5th. And number 8, Paradise Rock L was 4th. Time of the first quarter was 31 2/5. The half was in 104 1/5. The 3 quarters in 134 2/5. With a mile in 204 2/5. And the top it should read 218-736-5 on the bottom. A mile in 204 2/5. In the upcoming race 12, number 2, the Last Shark, changed the driver to Lauren Harmon. Lauren Harmon is going to drive number 2, the Last Shark, in race 12.
Starting to round out our program here in Montpelier, we're going to head into race 12, which is another division of the Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series. We do have a couple of the ladies making a reappearance, but driver change on the 2 will now be Lauren Harmon, who did not race in the first division, and also Ann Russell, I do not believe, was in the first division either. So we have a couple new faces. Yep.
And some good old horses again also. This Q Rock that Mandy Jones will be driving from the rail. Got 406 lifetime wins, $413,000 earned. He's 14 years old, so officially his last year of racing. Can race when they turn 15 at some fairs and in amateur races, but basically once they turn 15 they are done racing, so this could be Q Rock's last year. The Last Shark has 113 lifetime starts with $67,000. He's No Sweetie is a 7-year-old, 138 lifetime starts, $103,000. This time a 9-year-old driven by Jennifer Main, 221 starts, $188,000. And Better's Choice, the 12-year-old, driven by Ann Russell, 283 lifetime starts, $306,000 plus. So that's quite a field of horses. I know with the ladies' races we tend to concentrate on the drivers, but my goodness.
These, I mean, they're always solid horses.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
not like these girls are just driving any old thing that is close by. They absolutely always tend to have a lot of money, a lot of good starts under them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's especially, you know, the girls always put on a show, but it's well earned with these horses. They really can go together.
And it gives these horses a chance to keep on racing because some of them just absolutely love to race and they don't really want to quit.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to keep racing, make a little bit of hay money because they are racing for $750 today because there was 2 divisions. So the total purse for the 2 is $1,500.
So I'm going to look at the Hops Guide. What does the championship go for? Do you know?
Nope, I do not know.
I'm not sure because, around $1,500 tends to be at most fairs. The ladies' legs.
If you'll get out your tickets, we'll have another drawing here. Get out your tickets.
Next winning number is
So, again, the ladies' championship is on Tuesday of Jug Week. So, coming up September 21st, going for an estimated purse. So, given we'll see when that draw comes out, but an estimated purse of at least $3,000.
Was that? Did Jeff leave his bag, or is that your bag?
He left it.
Oh.
second division of the Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series Pace. Going for a purse of $750 and a flight seat courtesy of the Williams County Harness Horses Association. One is Q-Rod, by Robert Weiner of London, Ohio, trained by Hank LeVan, the driver is Mindy Jones. Number 2 is The Last Shark, owned and trained by Gary Clark of Centerville, Michigan, the driver Lauren Hartman. Number 3 is Keystone Sweetie, owned, trained by Courtney Macon of Columbus Grove. Number 4 is This Time, owned by the Hater Stables LLC of Temperance Vision, trained by Craig Mason, the driver Jennifer May. And number 5 is Better's Choice, owned by Aaron Spychala, Pinky Michigan,